executive producer and veteran film actress of 25 years, 24 plus years, whatever. And today we're going to dive deep into the number one reason indie films bleed money in post-production and the quality control process, otherwise known as QC. And this QC process isn't just a technical checklist, it's a financial minefield that can destroy your budget. Trust me on that. And we went through a lot with my movie Nation's Fire, and the quality control process was we had to pass it through several times, and each time there's a fee just for passing it through the quality control process. You have to have a particular vendor assigned by the distributor to do it through, because got to keep it in the family, which is good. However, it's just that, and there's fees that go along with it, and then every technical fix is going to cost more money, and you can go through your distributor, who often has a technical side of things where they do all the fixes for a fee, a couple $100 an hour and whatever that may be. So there's a lot that goes to it. So anyway, we want to eliminate a lot of these bloated bullcrap fees that you would get charged, and know that you're going to pass your quality control process the first time around, so that you can go right to your streaming platforms and start making money through your IP or whatever else you got going on, and hopefully through the streaming residuals, because distributors will learn to start paying independent filmmakers. That's the goal. So today I'm going to give you the roadmap to navigate QC like a studio pro. So first we need to understand the QC nightmare. Have you ever had your film rejected by a streaming platform or a distributor because of technical issues? And I'm sure that every single one of us has dealt with that problem. So each QC fail equals more editing, and more editing obviously is more time and more money. And then of course that then has to go through another QC, like I just mentioned. Thousands of dollars gone. So we're going to end that cycle now. First, you need a QC checklist that matches exactly what the major studios use. And here's what they are looking for and what indie filmmakers tend to miss. Number one is audio peaks and mix levels. And why most indie films fail the audio QC is because audio level peaks, known as clipping, audio peaks exceeding accepted levels, negative 6 dB to negative 10 dB, cause distortion and automatic QC rejection. We have poor dialogue mix and unbalanced stereo channels or phasing issues cause spatial disorientation, failing QC standards. It's funny because spatial disorientation is another term in the aviation world, I think. So anyway, background noise and hum. Persistent background noise, electrical hum, or buzzing captured during production are common rejection points. Missing or incorrect audio tracks, mislabeling audio channels, or failing to include necessary tracks such as M&E, which is the music and effects, cause instant fails. Music licensing issues. I talked about that in another video that I just did, where the film team had utilized Epidemic Sound music, but they did what was right, and they hired a music supervisor to make sure that everything passed copyright. And when the distributor got the movie, they failed all of the music. So they literally have to now come up with another budget to go back in and recompose the entire film. And that's a lot of work and expensive. And they got to guarantee that it's not copyright issues. And when it comes to music, which I include this in the Filmmaker Berserk Master course about music and the music supervisor's job and how much that entails to clear songs for a movie and how expensive that can be in itself. So this is all information that you need to have that will save you so much off your budget. Music licensing issues, incorrect loudness specifications, loudness exceeding broadcast streaming standards, typically between negative 2.3 to negative 2.7 LUFs, commonly results in the QC rejection. So the audio QC pitfalls are costly and easily preventable with proper guidance and preparation. So it's exactly what you're, you'll find all this in the master course of film Berserker mastery course, because I go over all of the QC details and all the reporting that they provided us where the movie failed the quality control process, and all the fixes that were required, as well as the cost of each of those fixes. And like I had mentioned before, I mean, some things were aliasing of the bridge, reflections in shots where they could see a reflection, say in a car window, of somebody on the crew, or equipment in shots. And we see that sometimes. We can catch that when we watch movies ourselves, and we'll see some errors like that, and that's not a good thing. That takes the viewer completely away from the film anyway, so we don't want that. But anyway, we want to do picture compliance, avoid the color space and codec issues that sabotage delivery. And I did a short video talking about this. What is REC 709 compliance, and why should filmmakers give a damn about it? And I just made a short promo video about this because it's so important in your quality control process. Because this is the industry standard color space and gamma curve for HD video. And if your film isn't 709 compliant, it can get rejected by platforms like Netflix, Tubi, Prime Video, or Hulu before it even sees the thumbnail. So you want to make sure that you have all that. I'm sorry, I got a cough. You want to make sure that you have all that. That's why in our master course, we provide all the deliverables, reverse engineering the process so that you have them all before you even roll camera. You should clarify every detail, every specification, every requirement that's needed for legal and technical before you even start filming. That way that you can talk to each person, each department of your team, and go over making sure that they can meet the standard of delivery requirement. So it's a very important thing to have, because otherwise you got to go back. Sometimes you got to go back and do reshoots, and you do not want to do that. It's not good. So this REC 709 compliance is one thing that kills more indie films in QC than anything else. So make sure that your team is well versed on this, understands this, and that you guys have that in place, right? So in savage terms, the Rec 709 tells streamers that your film is technically clean and ready to play on screens across the planet. And that's really important. So if your footage is out of spec, obviously too much contrast, blown out highlights, or whack color space, the QC process will fail you. That's more time and money, and that sucks. So what you need to do is deliver your ProRes master on REC 709, grade it in our REC 709 compliant color space. DaVinci Resolve has the presets for this, so you can actually do this yourself and save a lot of money in the post process. Use scopes, not your eyeballs, to make sure your levels hit properly, and check highlight clipping, black crush, and color saturation before exporting. So this is information I've taken kind of from our course and giving you this information so that you know what is necessary. And because it sucks that so many people would tell me, I talk about this with filmmakers, or I have in the past after going through what we went through, and they would say, yeah, okay, Krista, whatever. And I'm like, no, you guys, do you know what is required? Oh yeah, no, it's going to be a hit. Our movie's going to be, okay, but do you know what you have to pass delivery? Oh yeah, we'll be fine. And then they come back and are like, we're not fine. We're not okay. We're effed. So that's the part that, So real talk, your film can be brilliant, but if it's not REC 709 compliant, it won't pass. And QC fails equals delays, charges, and distributors using it as an excuse to forget your revenue or self-report your revenue. Forget you. So closed captions and subtitles, the hidden QC killer that no one expects. Closed caption and subtitles are often the hidden killer because filmmakers, they rarely anticipate them as major hurdles. And here's why: because of inaccurate timing, like sync issues. Even minor delays or mismatches between dialogue and caption timing can cause viewer frustration and instant rejection. Of course it can. Nobody wants to see it. Oh my goodness. Those type of movies. Improper formatting and positioning. Incorrect caption formatting, such as inconsistent placement, line breaks, punctuation, or text size, triggers QC failures and costly redos. Translation errors and localization mistakes. Poor translations or culturally insensitive phrasing can lead to content rejection, especially on global streaming platforms. So we have to be super conscious about that. And then, of course, non-compliance with accessibility standards. Many platforms enforce strict ADA guidelines for captions. Failing to meet these accessibility standards leads to automatic QC rejections. And missing metadata for captions and subtitles. Oh, incorrect or incomplete metadata related to subtitles, languages, versions, or encoding formats result in QC errors. Because captions and subtitles are typically considered an afterthought by filmmakers, understandably so. You got so many moving parts on your movie, and this is, captions and subtitles. So this unexpected QC challenge often will blindside production and causing costly delays, urgent rush orders, and additional expenses. And this is why I'm sure a lot of distributors set up shop for a technical department so that we can address all of your QC needs and fixes and add more if we see fit, because we can bill you a couple $100 an hour, charge you for 400 hours and doing all the fixes that you missed out on because you weren't aware of it in the beginning. And so nobody had it done. And yeah, these guys bank off of what we don't know, what you don't know. And then it really sucks. And so, and that's why in the Berserker Film Business Mastery course, we equip filmmakers to proactively handle these issues and avoid the surprise budget bleed, because we bled, and we were bled dry. And we had Oscar-winning producing team overseeing our entire production to make sure that everything was done correctly. And yeah, we still had a lot of issues, and we went through 3 different post houses for the final film. And then, of course, when I went to I only wanted to have one premiere, but because we filmed in 2 states across the country from each other, which costed a ton more money, we had 2 premieres. And then when I went to LA, it was the most bizarre thing, because everybody was looking at me funny and like mad at me, all my cast and crew. I was like, wow, so I employed all these people. Why are they so angry at me? And I realized it was all the shit talk that was going on behind my back, because I had to change the movie. Well, I had to change the movie because there were inconsistencies and we didn't pass a lot of things. And of course, though, it's all becomes a creative issue, and I'm taking away creative something. And I'm like, no, you guys, we spent $1.3 million on it. So I'll be damned about anything creative anymore at this point. We just have to get it done and get it out there and start making something back so that we're not on the streets. No, true. Metadata accuracy, missing or incorrect metadata equals instant rejection. So, that's your film's digital fingerprint there, the metadata. It's your title info, your synopsis, your cast, crew credits, your genre, your technical specifications, rights data, and more. So streaming platforms rely on this data to categorize, display, and track your movie. And that's especially important now in an AI-fueled world where everything is based on data collection, and, having all that information, because data helps companies and make informed decisions for the future. So without having this, that's how now we have software tools that are able to read through a script and generate reports based on where you would financially succeed in making changes in this screenplay, where movies like this have seen box office revenue before, where they've been hits, and how you can change it to make it a hit, and what you can do. So these are super important tools to have, and that metadata is everything. Trust me. But why it matters. Instant rejection, incorrect, incomplete, or missing metadata can cause immediate rejection, stopping your film before it even reaches viewers. Revenue impact, errors in metadata can misrepresent or undervalue your film, limiting your audience's reach and hurting revenue potential. So I have this written down so I can go over it with you guys. Rights and ownership issues. Incorrect metadata can trigger legal issues. Disputes over rights of chain of title can stall your entire production plan. Of course, we have all that in there, take you inside all the books and the chain of title and how to go about doing that and securing that, because that makes you legal. Without all this, you're not legal, and your movies won't go anywhere. So you have to have this information. So what you must do, verify metadata meticulously before submission, ensure all deliverable elements, rights, clearances, credits, synopsis, text specs align with platform standards, and establish a clear, accurate metadata strategy from pre-production onward to streamline delivery and maximize your film's potential. Establish a clear, accurate metadata strategy from pre-production onward to streamline delivery and maximize your film's potential. I just said that. But sorry, I got a message on top of my phone, so I went and read the last line, but it was actually a positive message about a video I posted. I get so much hell about, because I teach some AI stuff on our courses, and I'm very proud to do that, because, you know, this game changer for you guys and for your capabilities that are now in your hands. You are the new studio, and so I wish that my goal is to educate filmmakers and film industry professionals about that and the importance of that, even though everybody, I get so much hate thrown at me, but I'm sticking it out because I know what the final outcome is going to be. It's black and white to color. Black and white was the same issue years ago. Films used to be silent, and then when it went to sound, it was an uproar, just as it is now, an uproar over sound. So, you know, everything, you know, change is inevitable. And by the way, the film industry is a technical industry, so people seem to forget that. The people that want to tell me, well, we can't use tech in the movie, I'm sorry, but this is a technical industry, so you have to have some technical skills in order to make a business out of it. And if you don't want to make a business out of it, then I hope you pay your actors, and I hope you take care of everybody that is helping you make your dreams come true. That's only fair, right? You know, I believe in that because I've been an actor 25 years, and I love talent, and I love crews. I always see them working so damn hard, and I got so much respect for that. And I hate to see people not get paid. I won't do it. So, we teach you guys how to handle and control metadata accuracy. So this will save you thousands in rejected submissions and protect your film's distribution success. So, building your delivery slate like a studio executive. Imagine delivering your film with the confidence of a major studio, and here's how you can pre-qualify your deliverables before they hit QC. Assemble the precise paperwork, contracts, licensing, music clearance that ensures smooth acceptance. Use templates that eliminate guesswork and prevent costly mistakes. Stop bleeding your budget. Every filmmaker dreams of maximizing their budget for creative, not technical fixes. Well, who wants to spend that? We did that. We ended up spending so much on technical fix, it was a joke. Studio level QC compliance saves you tens of thousands, ensuring your money ends up on the screen and not in endless revisions. So that's why we go over all of this in the Filmmaker Berserker Master Course, and I take you inside all of our books and all of our process, even email communications with our distributor, with our post team, with everybody who is overseeing the post-production process, and how the arguments that we've had and questions we've had on invoices I received where I was like, what in the heck is this now, you guys? And it gets to a point in a movie that when you go in with a big budget, but we were using personal funding. It's, you know, it's not like, you know, this is corporate funding of something or whatever. It's ridiculous. So we get stuck between a rock and a hard place. So either we quit and throw the whole movie away and then lose the $1 million we'd already spent so far, or we keep spending on all the fixes that we had to make and then keep going when we really don't want to do this anymore. We're done. And so, of course, we opted to keep going because we had to, and we had to get it wrapped and delivered, and that's what we did. And it took us a couple years to actually get all this done. So the Berserker Film Business Mastery Course Advantage, the ROMAC is exactly this is exactly what we teach in the Filmmaker Berserker Mastery course. It's not theory. This is the actual QC checklist, templates, and deliverables slate used by successful films that you'll find in the program. This is just a droplet of what you'll find. It's built to stop budget bleed in its tracks. So we take you through the business formula used by Hollywood to stream your movie, which benefits them, not you, because they're out for themselves, not you. We want you to be out for you now. This is our time. Then we show you every phase of production that positions you as the owner and leader to protect you and eliminate the exorbitant fees that these distributors and sales agents stick you with throughout the process, because they profit off of you not knowing their business plan, which is why they built up their technical departments at the distribution offices. Okay, so it was my $1.3 million lesson, and I learned QC the hard way. So yeah, it turned our post-production into a costly nightmare. So don't let this be your story, for real. And you know, I thank you guys for your time, and I hope that you go over to filmmakerberserk.com, sign up for our email list, sign up for the master course and any of the other AI courses that we offer, as well as our PDF global funding pack, which will teach you how to take advantage and receive incentives and grants to help you get your film funded, where you're not stuck owing a ton of money in the end. So it's a super cool form of information that helps you get funded globally. And we will see you at filmmakerberserk.com. Thank you guys. Again, I'm Krista Grady Saxon, Queen Berserker.